All right, what's going on, audience? It's MindApe here, and as you can see, we got the face cam going on. First video with face cam. You know, I just thought, what better time than now to pull it out. I mean, we're making like a more casual video. It'd be kind of stupid if I just showed you the screen and just my voiceover. So we're gonna pull the face cam out for today's video, and I think I'll be using it going forward as well. As long as I look okay, and I see my hair is all messed up in the back. I don't care. I'm married. I have no one to impress. I just thought it'd be interesting for you to look at me, see what I look like. I look nothing like my logo anymore. When I made that logo, I looked like it, but I don't look like it anymore because I don't wear glasses anymore. That's a whole story for another time. Anyway, I'm sure you read the title. Gonna be doing a Call of Duty tier list based on my opinions on the games. And let's see here. We could probably zoom this in. Okay. And I'm going to preface this video with a little bit of background on myself with the franchise. Got my COD shirt on today. Thought it would be appropriate. So, like, growing up, my parents didn't let me play violent video games, but I still played that at my friend's house and stuff like that. So my experience with a lot of the past games is limited. I still appreciate them for what they are, the quality that they have, and what COD used to be. But I think you'll see by the end of this tier list that I have a very unique experience with the franchise. So I'm gonna explain all my reasoning for putting each one in its place, but I just want you to know that you are probably going to disagree with me. I would be very surprised if anybody agreed with me in this video, and that's okay. You're allowed to disagree. You're allowed to you can make fun of me all you want. In fact, you should make fun of me on social media, but share my video. That way people know the person you're making fun of. Anyway, my first COD, I've pretty much played all of them. I guess though, one of the first ones I ever played would be COD 2 Big Red One, which was a spin-off for the PS2. Yeah, Call of Duty 2 Big Red One. I don't even know if it had multiplayer, online multiplayer, but me and my friends would play split screen, against each other. I'm not gonna include 1, 2, and 3, which is down here, just because I don't think I played 1 or 3. I've only played 2 Big Red One, and I didn't get the full experience, so I'm not going to bother ranking it. In fact, I probably shouldn't even rank World at War, because I didn't really play that one much either. My first, I guess one of my very first experience outside of Big Red One with, the online multiplayer and stuff like that would be Call of Duty Black Ops. I remember playing zombies with my friends split screen, but I do remember playing the multiplayer back in the day too, and I remember just Nuketown was super fun, stuff like that. I remember playing Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare, the first one, at my cousin's house. I remember I spent the week down there when I was a kid, and all we did was play COD 4. So I have good memories. I remember these games. I've been a fan of the series for a long time. It's just that it took me a while to finally get the games for myself on a console that can play them, because actually for a long time, the first console I ever bought was a PS4 for myself, and that was in 2018. So my experience with the franchise is new, okay? So I'm gonna disagree with y'all, and y'all are gonna disagree with me, and that's okay. But let's just go ahead and get right into it. Yeah, I'm not gonna rank World at War. I remember playing it as a kid, but I don't have enough experience with it. So we'll start with COD 4, and I think COD 4 is pretty good. I don't think it holds up at all, and I'm gonna get a lot of flack for maybe these first couple Modern Warfares. I think it's important, and where we started from is very important, but these games are almost unplayable. I don't think they're all that good. If a game like that released even with modern graphics, first of all, the graphics don't hold up at all, and I don't know if I'm gonna really include that in my overall ranking. But if these games released today, everybody would have a fit about the weapon balancing, and that's important in my opinion. Weapon balancing is one of the most important aspects of a Call of Duty game. the maps I think are not great overall. I think another very important thing with COD though is spawn logic, and I think these old games have pretty good spawn logic. So I would hover COD 4 around the B to C range. I might just throw it at B, that way nobody gets too mad at me. As far as MW2, I think MW2 is better than COD 4, but I still think it has a lot of balancing issues. And I know like everybody else grew up on this game. I didn't grow up on it. I remember playing it. I played the campaign. I played with my friends. We played split screen. We played online multiplayer. We played Spec Ops or whatever it was called back then. But like I don't know, like I don't know. I think it's good. I don't think it's S tier. I don't think it's even the best Modern Warfare game. MW3 is about the same boat as MW2, and I was gonna go in order, but I'll just get these three out of the way because these are gonna be controversial. Honestly, if I could get away with it, I would put them all down a tier, but I'm not gonna, just for the sake of not being crucified by the community. Black Ops 1 is S tier. Black Ops 1 might be the best like game in the series, despite weapon balancing. The FAMAS is insane. It was like unfair how good that gun was. But campaign, phenomenal. One of the best campaigns in the series. The multiplayer is great. Great maps, great spawn design. Balancing, like I said, it was shaky, but it wasn't as bad as the Modern Warfare series, to be honest. Because, like, first of all, you got the ACR, which was like the god gun back then. And on top of that, there was also the FAMAS from MW2, which was like super insane. The COD 4 M16, like just talking about like burst guns that were like insane. The MP7 from MW3. Plus you had to like grind that shit. Like what rank did you unlock that at? Like one of the last ranks, like I don't know. I'm gonna leave it there and y'all can make fun of me. I don't give a fuck. But COD Black Ops 1, phenomenal. The zombies was great. Although it's not my favorite zombies experience, it's still like really good, I think. Like I think it holds up overall. Black Ops 2 is also S tier. For a while, Black Ops 2 I was calling it my favorite Call of Duty, but like upon further introspection, although I do love Black Ops 2 and I think Black Ops 2 is close to the perfect Call of Duty. Like Black Ops 2 might be better than Black Ops 1. I think it's actually a toss-up. In terms of the best, not in terms of my favorite. In terms of the best COD, it's between Black Ops 1 and 2, in my opinion. But we'll get to like my favorite COD down the line, and that's when y'all are really gonna get pissed off at me. But we'll save that for another time. COD Ghosts, I have good memories with COD Ghosts, but like overall, like I understand that's a bad game. Like I think the balancing was solid, but the maps and like spawn logic and that sort of thing was bad. The campaign was bad. I know like a lot of people, there's like a cult following for the whatever the zombies mode was called, Extinction, I think, but I didn't like it. I remember playing it back in the day. I thought it was stupid. I remember going back to it recently, like last year I tried playing it again. Thought it was stupid. So I think C is a fair place for it. I think you could bump it down to D, and I might rearrange the list later after I put everything in there, and then because like these might still drop. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. Advanced Warfare, great memories of it. I think like okay, so the loot boxes make it bad, right? The jetpack system, although it was clunky, it was really fun for the time being. Like like once we get to Black Ops 3 and Infinite Warfare, obviously the jetpack system was better than Advanced Warfare, but that doesn't mean for their first crack at it that it was bad. Like it was interesting, it was unique, and it was fun. I think it was ahead of its time. On top of that, the campaign was pretty good, and the zombies I thought was kind of bad. So I'm gonna keep it at C for now. I think B might be okay for it. I just have good memories of it. I think this is when I really started to like really love COD, was Black Ops 2 to Advanced Warfare, like in this like time period between that's 2012 and 2014. That's when I really started to like it. Yeah, I think we'll leave it at B for now. Here's probably my first like super duper controversial opinion. Black Ops 3 might have the best zombies experience. And like I know a lot of people really like the multiplayer, like they say it's the best jetpack COD, but I would disagree. I would have to disagree with that. I dislike it. The campaign sucked. The multiplayer, I think I think people realize, or like they don't remember how bad the loot box system was, because like some of the best guns were DLC weapons that were locked behind a paywall. And like we're gonna pretend like, so we're gonna like criticize Advanced Warfare or whatever other game for that same system, but Black Ops 3 gets a pass because everybody loves it, and most people love it because of the zombies, and then they just think that the multiplayer was good, but the multiplayer was not that good in my opinion. Although it did have some iconic Black Ops style maps, which I agree is good, and like the spawns were pretty good too. But like weapon balancing, I thought was terrible. I just think like people think it's better than it was, and it just wasn't all that great. We could probably put it at B though, because the zombies was elite. Infinite Warfare, I also loved Infinite Warfare. It got way too much shit, especially just because it was the third in an unwanted like series of Call of Duty games. It was just the fatigue of jetpack CODs. Like everybody wanted to go back, and then they were like, "Nah, let's make another one." So it's like it was a stupid decision. The game probably should not exist, but for what it is a good game. Like the balancing is fantastic. The map design and the spawn logic is fantastic. The campaign is really, really good. I don't know if you ever played the campaign. And the zombies was actually surprisingly very, very good. Like, I didn't even know that at the time, but I went back and played it, and I'm like, holy shit, this zombies experience is fun as fuck. Yeah, so anyway, I'll keep it at B for now. COD World War II was the first COD that I bought myself and grinded. So that's where we begin our journey. And I know some of you guys are going to be like, how the fuck? What took you so long? Like I said, I just didn't get to play it as a kid. I graduated high school in 2017, and then I went to college. And that's when I actually didn't even have a PlayStation at that time. I was using my buddy's PlayStation, but I bought COD World War II on my account for his PlayStation. And I would just grind. Instead of going to class or whatever, I would grind Call of Duty. Be that as it may. Although like overall, like I think it's a solid game. I think people give it more shit than it deserves because it was boring. I think like boring is probably a fair place, like a fair word for it, a fair description. Each individual piece of the entire picture, the campaign was okay. The multiplayer I think it was okay. Like it had decent maps. It made a lot of right decisions. And then you get to the perk system and they fucked that up. And the weapon balancing was okay. There was a few like strong guns. And then the zombies was probably subpar, but it wasn't unplayable. I think anyway. But overall it was boring. Like nothing stood out about it. It could have released, yeah, I don't know. I guess I don't know what I'm really trying to say. I just think it was very, very mid. Although I still like it. And I would go back and play it sometimes. Not anymore though. Okay. Call of Duty Modern Warfare. No, I'm just kidding. Black Ops 4 is actually, I've been thinking about this a lot. Black Ops 4 is probably my favorite Call of Duty. I'm gonna get so much shit for this. As you guys may know, if you've been a fan of the channel for a while, like that's the game I started playing on my channel was COD Black Ops 4. It was after I moved back home. After I only ended up staying a semester at my first college, and then when I went back home, that summer, like the game was like announced, and then the beta came out, and I was like just so excited for it because I didn't start like, I guess let's backtrack for a second. COD World War II, I was probably a Christmas noob is when I ended up buying the game, so I didn't have like the full year. But Black Ops 4 is the first time I was like already into the series. I was excited for the next game, so I spent that entire like preseason process of getting hype for Black Ops 4. Watching the reveal, And then, you know, playing the beta myself, pre-ordering the game and all that stuff, and then getting it on launch day and grinding. And I don't know, like, obviously we can go over some of the aspects of the game, because I know it's not like considered a good game by most people's metrics, because first of all, it lacked a campaign. Literally, there was no campaign. The multiplayer was different because it was the first COD where you had 150 health, it had manual healing, and it had like an expanded specialist system, which a lot of people didn't like, because not only did you have like your actual like specialist ultimate, you also had like your specialist tactical equipment that replaced grenades. But I just, you know, from the multiplayer from the top down, you know, I liked it. I really liked it. I think the weapon balancing was really good. The maps were fantastic, and from what I remember, the spawns were really good. They were solid. The progression system was great. I think it was the last COD to have like the prestige system. It was the last COD to have like the, what's it called, the where you could like make your emblem editor. That's the word I was looking for. And the paint job system where you could like do the same thing but put it as like a camo on your gun. But not to mention that it was it has the best mastery camos in all of Call of Duty, and that is one thing that I'm just right about, and I'm not going to debate, because you got to grind for you had to actually grind for the best camos. You couldn't buy them. There were some good ones that you could buy, but gold was great. And then if you got multi kills, it would react. It would start to get this like cool like purple and then gold electricity. And then diamond, the best diamond in all of Call of Duty, because it looked like Black Ops 2 diamond, which was probably the second best. And then on top of that, it was reactive. Every 5 kills it changed colors, and if you got 30 kills, it turned out RGB gamer. It was sick as fuck. Like, you can't even play that shit. That shit was fantastic. Not to mention Dark Matter was beautiful. And this is the only game that I actually grinded for Dark Matter on. Or like the full mastery camo was Black Ops 4 is when I got Dark Matter. I haven't done it since. I do plan on doing it for this COD, but I haven't done it yet. Dude, that shit was beautiful. It was like this cool like red like moving kind of like camo, and then it reacted as well, and it got spiky and it started glowing, and then it ended up turning into Black Ops 3 Dark Matter. What more is there to love? It was so cool. Yeah. I'm just like reminiscing now. Anyway, like, and then stepping away from the multiplayer, like a lot of people, I think now they look back on it and they realize Blackout is better than Warzone. Although like I did like launch Warzone, I think Blackout, it feels like it wasn't a complete project, and yet it was still more fun than Warzone. And I wonder if that's just because it was so new at the time, you know, like a Call of Duty Battle Royale, and their first crack at it was like that fun. I don't know. I still feel like it wasn't like completely thought out. It wasn't even like a finished thing, but it was still so fun and so cool and very enjoyable at the time. I don't know. I just remember, you know, I just have really good memories on Black Ops 4, but that's besides the point. While I understand that it's not the best COD, it is my favorite COD, and that's why it's at the top of S tier. And you can suck my ass. COD Modern Warfare, I had a really fun time with this game too. I don't like it as much as like these other games up top here. I probably like it better than these two Modern Warfares. I think that they made a lot of stupid design choices. I don't think the TTK is a problem with Modern Warfare. I think the problem was no dead silence, no proper minimap, squad spawning, which squad spawning is fucking terrible. I don't know why that's the thing. I hate it in this new one. It's probably my least favorite aspect of the new COD is squad spawning, as well as like Modern Warfare. The gunsmith is fantastic. I think it's the best iteration of the gunsmith, barring maybe the newest Modern Warfare, MW2. I think I think the Cold War and the Vanguard Gunsmith sucks ass. We'll get to that eventually, but I think this might be the best. I think maybe they evolved it, and I don't even know if the new one is like maybe better or maybe it's a sidestep. But I would probably say it's better. So this is probably the second best Gunsmith, but I still think it was good and it was fun because it was new at the time. I think the campaign was great, and Warzone was fun when it was just Modern Warfare Warzone, if you know what I mean. Before Cold War came out, Modern Warfare Warzone was fun, and the meta was in a lot better state. I think the meta was at its best with the Grau and the Kilo, and like the M4, like headlining the AR classes, and like the HDR. Was that what it was called? That sniper? Because it had like great bullet velocity. Like, I don't know. I just think that was better. Cold War was good, but it was mid, I think. Like, okay, I thought the campaign was solid. It wasn't great. It didn't blow me away, but I thought it was pretty good. The multiplayer, I think, it only made one wrong choice, and yet I still wasn't blown away by it. The only wrong choice it made was revamping the score streak system, but I think the weapon meta was in a good place. I think the maps were solid. I think the spawn logic was good, but like, it was boring. It suffered from the same things that World War II suffered from, except it just did it a little bit better, and I think that's mostly because it was a Black Ops game. And we're also putting it above because it's my favorite Zombies experience. I don't think it's A tier, but it's top of B tier. That's where I'll put it. We're gonna put this here. I think Advanced Warfare is my favorite jetpack game. Probably like all these games better than this one. Cold War, yeah, I don't know. There was something so bizarre about it, and I can't quite put it into words, but for me, the guns didn't look like guns. Like the graphics were really good in the game, and yet there was just something so like plasticky about the guns. I literally can't explain it. They don't, like, when you jump from Modern Warfare, which had such like a like the textures of the weapons and everything like that, they just look so good and so like lifelike, and then you get to Cold War and like, I just don't know why do they look so bizarre. They look cartoonish almost, and yet it was still like very, like, the fidelity of the graphics were fantastic. It was just something about like the design choice of the weapons and the maps that made it more cartoony, and that's not necessarily a knock on it, because I think there is a place for that, especially in a Black Ops game, because you look at Black Ops 4 and you look at Black Ops 3 and even Black Ops 2, like, while there may be some realism aspect, you don't need realism to make a successful Call of Duty game. I really don't think so. But like I said, Zombies experience was fantastic. I think it was it's my favorite because it's the one that I'm the best at. I suck at zombies so bad. The only games where I'm like I'm okay at Black Ops 3 zombies, and I'm good at Cold War zombies. And that's because Cold War zombies is easy. Like, let's face it, I'm not gonna like sugarcoat it. It's a lot easier than the other ones. It's more accessible. Starting out with your primary weapon and all the attachments equipped is a huge plus. It made it easier to grind camos as well, and I did grind camos. I had the purple diamond on like 3 weapon classes or something like that. I was really disappointed that Cold War didn't stick with the reactive mastery camos, but I think that's just because they wanted to sell reactive camos in the shop, and that's a whole nother thing. And also, Cold War ruined Warzone. Anyway, Vanguard gets an F. Vanguard pretty much sucks. I think like they did make a couple of like really good decisions, but as far as, I didn't mind the campaign. I thought the campaign was fine. The multiplayer was painfully mid, perhaps even lower than mid. I still grinded it a little bit, but it was by far, like, since COD World War II, it was the fastest that I stopped playing a Call of Duty game after it released, just because it wasn't fun. On top of that, the zombies sucked as well. I actually didn't even play zombies because it sucked so bad. But maybe that's unfair to the zombies experience as well. But like, if someone's not willing to try it, that means you fuck something up, you know what I mean? So let me see. Is there anything else I want to like move around here? I think this is pretty much how it shakes out. If you asked me a year ago, I don't know if this is actually how I felt or if it's just something I was saying to like, fuck with my friends. But Black Ops 3, I used to say was my least favorite COD. But like, if you look at it, like, I don't know. I didn't. The thing is like, I think of a lot of these like as in how much fun I had playing the game. And usually when I play Black Ops 3, I don't have a lot of fun. Maybe it's a skill issue. But, if you think about, like, skill issue and jetpack CODs, and why don't I suck at Infinite Warfare? Which I don't. I'm actually decent at Infinite, and it's the same jetpack system. Like, it's not the jetpack skill issue. And if anything, I would also suck at Advanced, which I do kind of suck at Advanced Warfare, because that has an even jankier jetpack system. I just don't know. I do really like the zombies experience, though. So that's why I'm like, reevaluating myself. And I used to really, really like Ghost. Like, if you asked me a year ago, Ghost would probably be in B or A. But, I mean, it's rose tinted glasses. I don't know. Like, if I played it now, I wouldn't like it. In fact, the last couple times I played it, I did not like it. And that's actually mostly due to the meta of, like, the thermal on the, what's it called? Like, I don't remember what it's called in game, and I can't remember what it's called in real life, but it's an AR-15 LMG with like a dual drum mag. That shit sucks with a thermal sight, and then they just lay prone because the visibility sucks in this game, and that's another issue I have with these Modern Warfare games that I didn't touch on earlier. Is the visibility is terrible. In fact, I might move these down. This doesn't feel right. I actually do like Modern Warfare 2. I do actually like MW3 too. Son of a bitch. I don't know. Like, I have gone back and played MW2 and MW3, and I've had fun. I just think that they're not as good as everyone says. And maybe that's why I'm, like, ranking them lower than they should be ranked. Even in, like, my own enjoyability, because I do enjoy playing these games. But maybe I'm just giving them shit because I'm sick of the fucking, like, agenda, I guess. I don't know. I do like this Modern Warfare better than these two games, though. Yeah, I think this is pretty much about right. COD 4, I don't know. Even like COD Remastered, I didn't like all that much. Yeah. So I think that'll go ahead and do it for this video today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Like if you liked it. Subscribe if you feel like it. And I will catch you guys in the next video. I just hit the mic again. I'm sorry. I will catch you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.